Hey there guys, this is Obsidian Chill. Got another video for today, and this is one we've been waiting for a while. This is the one I told you is coming, at least for my previous video. It did take another couple weeks, but at least we have it here. The producer's letter for DC Universe Online for the year 2024 and moving forward into Q1 next year as well. So this was announced by the new producer, part of DC, Ken White, Ken Rickey. He also mentioned that the new creative director that I covered, Al Rivera, as well as we have a new art director hire, Scott Boyd. But the touch on this is that we now have the people in place for the new hires I was talking about. We have more official interaction, hopefully moving forward for that as well. There are some few key takeaway points, which I'll touch on as well. So as of today, the PS5 client is released for DC Universe Online. It is a separate client that you have to download. So if we kind of touch on the PS5 client here, they released a trailer for it as well, but I'll put this in this description as well as description and comment section, I should say. It is a separate client you have to download. So if you go to the store right now, it'll be the PS4 client. If you go on PS5, you'll have the PS5 to select tag PS5 and download. You can switch between them, or you can keep both clients, or you can delete the PS4 client. I will say at the recording of this video, there are multiple reports of like graphical issues as well as lag, so I'm sure that'll be worked out soon. But if you experience that at the beginning, don't be surprised. What is different? So the native version of DC Universe Online on PS5 can better take advantage of the system's hardware for stronger performance, smoother frame rates, faster load times, and natively runs at 4K. The game itself is identical to the PS4 version of the game. So it's not like anything drastically changed. It doesn't even really say any graphical upgrades in terms of like, if you're an old player in DC, they kind of changed the moon to be a bit more vibrant. And when you're viewing it from like, say, like the Watchtower, I don't think there's been any graphical upgrades from that point of view. It just mainly just kind of like a performance upgrade, which you'd expect from like a PS4 client to PS5. So we'll have to see maybe a breakdown. I don't play on PS5, so I won't be able to really see the differences, but certainly as you progress through the comment section of this video, hopefully some people can mention what it feels like on PS5. Right now, it's gonna be kind of not the same with all the lag and issues that are being reported, but at least that's something to take away. And then we also have the next two episodes, the one I hinted before with being two raids breakdown. Episode 47, Brainiac Returns, will come in May. And then we have episode 48, the one after that, coming in September. So look back. So in terms of the Brainiac Returns, we have some information here. Hopefully it'll be coming on test server the next few weeks, kind of by mid-April, so for a May release. We'll have some more information there. But kind of gives us an idea here. We can say right away that they're taking, Dark Knights, and kind of the whole like Hall of Justice open world. That's probably going to be the exact same as like Dark Knights, except it's going to be Brainiac assets, which, I mean, you can't write that off right away. I mean, they rarely does DC Universe Online do like brand new open world content. It's based usually on some kind of previous assets. In this case, obviously we can see it's still going to be different. There's going to be bubbles. There's going to be kind of Brainiac dropships and dropships similar to like Metropolis in there. Or like those floating platforms. So, that's still something, and all the Gotham stuff. So pretty much, I wouldn't, don't take it negatively away that they're just reusing the open world concept from Dark Knights. I'm sure there could be some different sections that are open world, but obviously that'll be people's first takeaway. But like I said before, that's common, at least in open world. We have no idea what the raid's going to look like, the actual content, if it's going to be rehashed or not. We also have the new layer, the Sunstone, based on Sunstone Fortress, a part of the April release for the celebration of Superman's anniversary. So that'll be a new layer design. It looks, at least from this preview, it looks completely separate in terms of if this is how you spawn in your base or from that door. It doesn't look like the normal layout, or if this is basically, obviously this is outside. I don't know if this is going to be just an exterior section or interior. So that'll be something to look forward to as well. And then in terms of we have all the seasonals released, that's not out of the question. We'll be celebrating the Year of the Dragon, which is new. I don't think they've done anything like that in the past. And then Homecoming, Sea of the Universe is being announced as well. Not what raids it's going to cover, but hopefully when that gets closer, we'll have more information on that. And then Brainiac Returns, I'd be surprised to hear that we're moving on to episode 48 to be released sooner rather than later, with our extensive plans to captivate fans with brand new content more often. We're ecstatic to announce our roadmap that sets up production. In fact, episode 48 is already in pre-production, and then we move in new directions. Obviously, it's way too soon because, especially for an episode that far out, since episode 47 was pretty much already in progress and nearly done by the time these new hires came in, especially the creative director. I doubt he's going to have that much influence over what was already done, because it would have been a huge delay if it was, because so much stuff is already done. But I suspect we're going to have much more kind of see the influence from Al Rivera, or at least what his kind of insight or direction for the game is for episode 48, because there's much more opportunity for that to take place during that time. So looking in the actual development update, this is the actual important part. So Q1, we pretty much already covered that. Q1's going to be ending in a few days. So that's, at least we have the PS5 release for that. We already had the booster bundle, Black History Month, all that kind of stuff. Q2, we have the episode Brainiac Returns released. We have Springtime Seasonal. That's same thing with the giveaways, April Fools, Superman Day, Pride Day. That's all the same as last year. We have Jon Stewart ally coming. So if he gets the Poison Ivy treatment for nature, that means that could be a possibly huge buff to light DPS. Or, I mean, technically, I guess they could also have that for rage as well. I guess we'll have to wait and see if it's light and rage or just light focused. Katana Time Capsule, Sunstone Fortress, that's the layer that I already mentioned. And then Q2, that's when the Xbox Series X release is going to come out. Q3, we're looking at episode 48, Tides of War, Homecoming, Save the Universe, so that's as per normal. Year of the Dragon is new, Batman Day, that's, I wouldn't say recycled, but it's the same stuff they always do. Obviously, new Time Capsule, Booster, Resurgence, I mean, that's as to be expected. Q4, same thing, seasonals as to be expected, Wonder Woman, Extra Life, that's all expected. New Ally planned, Booster Bundle, and then Q1 2025, this and kind of just seasonal. So really, it's much more detailed than we had for previous development updates, where basically just kind of gave us the seasonal. So, I mean, realistically, it's too far out to plan for Q3, Q4, and Q1 for 2025. So I don't expect them to say anything differently. I guess the only things mainly missing from this would be any artifacts in progress. I'm sure there's going to be artifacts released a part of Brainiac Returns. Usually they may mention that here, but just I would have an assumption that usually they would have some new artifacts for that episode, and we'll have more information in the future. At least they are continuing with their power set allies. Obviously, Jon Stewart would be a power set ally, and then this new ally next will probably be the same. So as to be expected, they're going to continue on for their power set allies. In terms of events and giveaways, it's pretty much the same. Save the Universe could be I feel like Save the Universe should be more than just once per year, kind of just towards the summer. I really feel like that could be something that runs consecutively, which, I mean, could be changed. This is all subject to change as well. It even says right there, subject to change. And I think it's something that the producer wanted to mention, that each quarter will kind of give an update rather than just the producer's letter like once per year. It's going to be something that he could do continually. So after, say, this episode comes out, he could reflect on that episode and give us an update for what's going forward. So that's something to look forward to as well, because this is all pretty standard. I guess the main thing missing, like I said, besides artifacts, we're missing survival mode, which, I mean, survival mode could come back, but it would require like pretty much redone from the ground up. There's no point of rehashing survival mode the way it was for season 1, 2, and 3. It's just the same room, the same bosses, except like 2 or 3. 4-man, 6-men don't work with a one boss setup. Survival mode just becomes so easy that it's not even worth bringing it back. Should it come back? Yes. In the same format as it left? No. We should have an 8-man SM back, 2 bosses, or if you're going to keep 6-man, it should be 2 bosses. It's just something that needs a kind of a revamp all entirely. So certainly survival mode couldn't come back. It's a lot of work to do it because, like I said, it's going to be a revamp, and there's no developers that were around for. I guess Toxic would be, he worked on season 3, so technically he'd be around, but the same thing, he basically just redid what was done with season 2, except a few different bosses. So survival mode is definitely a bigger undertaking, but like I said before, that could be updated. Like when we get a Q3 update, that could be saying, okay, Q4 or Q1 next year, we could be seeing survival mode. But that's the only main thing really missing from here. Everything else is to be expected. But really, I think the big takeaway from here is that at least we have something. I know a lot of people in the forums being upset with kind of radio silence now that we've had those producers, creative director, art director announced. Hopefully they'll be a bit more active on the forums in terms of introducing themselves and kind of giving their takeaways and direction for the game. So that's what we can take for that. People can put the pitchforks down. I'm not saying this is going to fix DC or everyone should come back to DC. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying at least we have something to kind of give us some direction, and because we've had kind of what people refer to as radio silence or no contact from the developers for the past few months, especially with Q4 and Q1. So that's, at least we have something now. and it's up to the developers to kind of act on this and make sure that we have reasons to have players come back and continue enjoying DC in the future. So, as always, we'll see you next video. Take care, guys.